everybody, welcome back to my channel. Hope everybody's having a great day today. Hope everything's going your way today. Today, I'm coming to you with not one, not two, but 3 eye looks. Yes. Today, I'm coming to you with 3 eye looks, swatches, and a review of the Candy Shop Trio by Bombshell Cosmetica. Yes, the Candy Shop Trio. So, if you want to see how the palettes perform and get my take on these here palettes, then just get everybody, let's get started. Man. Okay, guys, so yeah, your girl's coming right back at you with yet another 3-look video. And I usually come to you guys with 3 looks using the same palette to show you how versatile using a single eyeshadow palette can be. But today, guys, I decided to do something a little different, which is come to you guys with 3 looks from 3 separate palettes from one single collection. Thus, here I sit, guys, holding in my possession the Bombshell Cosmetica Candy Shop Trio Palette. Now, Bombshell Cosmetica is an indie brand who initially is known for their very popular Candylicious eyeshadow palette. And they actually feature palettes and lashes that are themed by sweet treats. And I actually own and have used and absolutely love the Candylicious eyeshadow palette. And your girl's also a sucker for candy, so I figured, why not go ahead and give the Candy Trio palettes a try. So as I stated, guys, and as the name of the collection precedes it, the collection comes with 3 palettes. The Caramelized Eyeshadow Palette, the Oh Hubba Hubba Eyeshadow Palette, and the Sour Blast Eyeshadow Palette. All 3 palettes come inside of a sleeve that actually matches the palette. And on the back of each palette, you'll find the ingredients. The symbol letting you know the palette's cruelty-free and has a 12-month shelf life. Yeah. Don't quote me on it, but I think that might mean that the palette's recyclable. You'll also find the weight of the palette, which in the case of the trio, each palette has a net weight of 24 grams / 0.85 ounces. And you'll also find the handles for Bombshell Cosmetica. First, let's talk about the Caramelized palette. The palette is really cute. It has Bombshell Caramelized Eyeshadow Palette with dripping caramel on the front of the palette. When you open up the palette, it doesn't have a mirror, but then again, none of the trio palettes do. And when you open up the Caramelized, guys, here are the colors. And in looking at the palette, guys, you can see the Caramelized palette is a pretty safe palette. You've got your neutral tones, a couple of pinks, a basic white area, the infamous pop of blue. Out of the 12 shades in the palette, 3 are shimmers, and the rest are all mattes. And for a neutral palette, guys, I must say, I really do quite enjoy the color story of this palette. Because no matter which shades in the palette you decide to use, they are all interchangeable. And no matter what eye look you do, you can't mess it up. If there were one area of opportunity I would say this palette has you, it would be the way the shades translate in the pan versus on your lid. Because while it would appear that ginger, puree, and brownie would translate dark on your lid, even when using the base, guys, if you're my shade or darker, even when using the base on your lid, with the exception of brownie, which does come across on your lid like it does in the pan, unfortunately, ginger and puree here come across strictly as transition shades. And because my thoughts with the shimmers are the same in all 3 palettes, I'll save that for the end of the review. But I will say, guys, out of all 3 palettes, the Caramelized palette is the safest and the most neutral, and is definitely for people who really don't experiment with color and like to use a palette for every day. And now I'll insert the swatches of the caramelized palette. We've got white choco, nut, caramel, and ginger. We got juicy, peach, hot fudge, and puree. We got sherbet, drip, temptation, brownie. Now let's talk about the old Hubba Hubba eyeshadow palette. The palette is really cute. It says old Hubba Hubba eyeshadow palette on the front of the palette. And in looking at the design, guys, it kind of reminds me of the packaging for Hubba Bubba bubblegum. And when you open up the old Hubba Hubba, here are the colors. And in looking at this palette, guys, as you can see, unlike the caramelized palette, it is starting to venture out with a little more color. You've got your pops of purples and oranges and blues, and you even have a couple warm tone shimmers. And unlike the caramelized palette, you have a few more shimmers in the Hubba Hubba. It consists of 5 shimmers, and the rest are all mattes. If there are any opportunities I would say this palette has, it would be the similarity between a couple shades in the palette. And that would be this shade gray and this shade jolly. Because while in the pan it would appear that jolly is lighter than gray, when looking at the two shades together, there's really not a big difference between the two. But that's not surprising, guys, because purple shades are some of the hardest to perfect. So instead of jolly, I feel the color story of the Hubba Hubba could have benefited a little more from another blue matte. Maybe a cobalt or even a royal blue, guys. And as far as this shade green apple here, I think it could have benefited a little more for being more of what the shade says it is, which is a green apple green. Because that shade reminds me a lot of the green in the Daisy Marquez palette, and that if you're not setting your brow bone, you're not going to get much color payoff from that shade. But other than that, guys, all the other shades in the Hubba Hubba are popping. Now here goes the swatches of the Hubba Hubba palette. We got peaches, green apple, sweet, orange, blast, tart, sour, and bubblegum. Got chewy, jolly, grape, and strawberry. And last but certainly not least, guys, we have the Sour Blast eyeshadow palette. And this packaging is also cute, guys. It's got Sour Blast eyeshadow palette in the front in ombre letters. And there's something about the writing and the design of the palette that takes me right back to the 80s and my childhood. Yeah, going to the penny store to get some candy. And guys, when you open up the Sour Blast palette, here are the colors. Would you look at them? Would you look at them? Would you look at them? It has 4 shimmers and the rest are all mattes. And I must admit, guys, out of all the color stories out of the trio, I love this color story most of all. Anyone who's watched my channel for any period of time knows that out of all the palettes, this is my favorite palette of them all. Because there's absolutely nothing about this palette that screams safe, or neutral, or wearable. This is absolute fun and a party inside a palette. Honestly, guys, you have everything you need inside this palette to create a colorful eye look. And what I really love most about this palette, guys, are the color choices they made for the shimmers and the mattes. This palette is sheer perfection, as you will see when I do the demo. Now here are some swatches of the Sour Blast palette. We got Frosty, Bananas, Gummy, and Melon. We got Bonbon, Lime, Lollipop, and Sweet. We got Cavity, Sweetheart, Sugar Rush, and Rainbow. Now it's time to wrap everything up into a nice bow for you guys. As far as the formula, guys, the formula in all three palettes are quite consistent, and that all the mattes are blendable, has zero patchiness or skipping, and glided on my eyes like butter. And while a few mattes, which I pointed out with the Caramelize and the Hubba Hubba palette, lack pigmentation, I didn't have any issues with the other mattes in both palettes, or any other mattes in the Sour Blast palette, and use them on a white base, guys, the pigmentation becomes next level. As far as every single shimmer in every single pan and every single palette, yeah, those shimmers are killing the game. On top of the dual chrome effect in the shimmers and the fine glitters in these shimmers that add a little something special, they work well with a glitter glue or without, on a wet brush or a dry brush. Yeah. And if I didn't already say, guys, the shimmers in the trio, yeah, are killing the game. And you know, with ultra fine glitters comes ultra fine fallout. But I don't much mind it because the shimmers are just that special. Yeah. The performance of the shimmers are just that great. And besides, guys, at the end of the day, there's nothing to doing your eye look before your complexion, and a baby wipe or two won't fix. And just keep in mind, guys, about the palettes being cruelty-free, some of the more pigmented and brighter mattes in the palettes could cause potential stainings. But at the end of the day, guys, there's nothing that a little soap and water can't help. There's not much more to say about the palettes, okay? Because what's understood don't need to be explained. The regular price of the trio is $70, but they're currently running a promotion that you can get all three palettes for $49.99. And you can also purchase each palette separately, but as you know, when you buy it in a bundle, you get the better deal. But as for me, guys, I'm so glad to have all three palettes as part of my collection. Now that we got that part done, enough all the yapping. Come on, Lily, let's get into the eye looks already. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. It only gets greater later, guys. It only gets greater later. So until next time, guys, stay real, stay positive, stay up, and damn it, you better watch, fight, and pray. Let's get into these eye looks, though.
underneath it all, everything's actually all right. You're okay. You have more power than you might be giving yourself credit for. If you have something that's going on in your life right now that's